Good day and welcome. Today we're going to cover another spicy and interesting character, the Space Australian himself, Jeice! So I'm pretty excited to cover this character as a fellow Australian, or at least if you've listened to the English dub, he's kind of infamous for having the very classic accent. So having said that, we're just going to get straight in, guys. So we're just going to do the usual, so covering his stats, skills, blast attacks, unique properties, key blasts and smash blasts, rush combos, dash attacks, strengths and weaknesses, other similar characters of the archetype, and final thoughts. So let's get into some down under nooch. So he's very cheap at only 3 DP, so you can slide him onto a team quite easily. Has 4 health bars, average defense, in line with most Saiyans, and low damage stats similar to Kui and Raditz. He starts with 1 key bar, which is not the greatest, 0 starting skill points and a maximum of 4. 4 seconds to fully charge his key, and this looks very stylish while he does so, and has access to 2 follow-ups, under a smash attack, and 4 in sparking mode. He also gets a heavy follow-up even when grounded, and it side swaps, which is pretty cool. Not every character gets it, so we take it where we can get it. And his perception is key blast cannon, so generally very little damage and you get an easily manageable follow-up, but there's some situations where ending with a blast attack is kind of nice, so there you go, and he has no transformation. So what next for Jeice? We have his skills, 2 very strong ones if I do say so to myself. So offense and defense he has it covered, so he has his first skill is Explosive Wave. Just kidding, that's the other one, Explosive Wave. So it pushes the opponent back, even whether you're under attack or at distance, or basically regardless, as long as you're not paralyzed or in key bennett, you can pop this skill and be safe, and it's incredibly difficult to punish, so by far the strongest defensive skill in the game, especially after Image Strike, and some of the other skills have been adjusted, so very good, especially for a character like this. It just keeps him alive longer, which means you get more value out of him, which is awesome. Now I'll show that again. So for 4 skill points he gets access to instant sparking. And fun fact about this actually, so notice how a lot of characters when they get into sparking mode, they push the opponent back with the big key blast or the big explosion. The same as all the other Geno squad, whenever he pops his instant sparking, because it's a pose, it doesn't actually like blow them back, so just keep that in mind. And just be very careful when you use it, because you can definitely be hit by a blast attack during the startup, so just think of that every time you use it. But having said that, let's move on to his blast attacks. So first off, he has 2 different types, so you have just like a regular beam type. Pretty generic, standard stuff, it does 6.7k roughly. Then you have his Blast 2, which is also 3, his classic Crusher Ball. Moves a little bit slower and deals roughly the same damage, so I'm going to mention this a bit later on, but I think it's a bit sad how his skills double up so much. I think it would have been cool to have a bit more variety other than just a generic blast on top of Crusher Ball, maybe like a special rush attack similar to what Berta has, but you know, it is what it is. I'll try not to complain too much. Now his Ultimate Blast, which is a fast, guardable attack which deals 14.2k damage. Looks extremely cool. I've seen a lot of cool supers in my type, but I think this is definitely up there as one of the kills. Combination time! Attack! Very nice. So that's his blast attacks in a nutshell. But other than that, his doesn't really have a lot of things to make him unique, or at least we'll cover those a little bit later, but he's a pretty standard dude. He doesn't really do anything too crazy or out there that a lot of other characters cannot do. But what he can do though is he can have a really good mid to long range game with Key Blast, so the standard stuff, but then Smash Key Blast is actually a tracking orb, which is very nice, so use this and dash behind and whatever you want on the fast version, which means he can very effectively zone, and I think overall, because he has some more variety in his Smash Key Blast, it gives him the best zoning potential of the Ginyu squad, or at least as far as I've played, which is really cool. I think I enjoyed playing the mid to long range game, and having these options, especially on a cheap character, is good when you just want to have an extra all-rounder, and he definitely fits the bill, so it's real nice. Speaking of fitting of the bill though, let's show him some Aussie dolls, show Vegeta some damage, so we'll go over his combos and follow-up. So first off, he has Rolling Hammer on the first follow-up, goes around, Flying Kicks is the overhead, Q-Blast Cannon, always nice, heavy finishes. Yeah, so it's a pretty solid moveset, no real weaknesses there, and as my personal, while I would like to have heavy finishes a bit earlier, it's not really that big of a deal. Having early Flying Kicks is always nice to have in a combo, so. And also on his dash heavy is Flying Kicks, which is okay. It means that you can rush them from the front. They want a perception or whatever, or just standard block. They're going to get hit unless they block high, so it's not bad. And gives them a small combo from the front. So I'm just going to show off a quick combo here, just as an example. There we go. Does about 11.7k damage. So standard defense that should deal about maybe 10.9, about 11k damage. So it's pretty reasonable. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. What does this Australian space Aussie dude have going for him? So what are his strengths? So as I mentioned earlier, he's low cost at only 3 DP. You really can fit him into pretty much every team, unless you got some really expensive characters. Well, I guess you could run him solo, but you'd have to really love the characters to want to do that. Props to you. Has access to 2 excellent skills, so Explosive Wave being, pretty much the best defensive skill, and Spiking is still quite strong despite the cost. Good moveset, he doesn't really lack for anything. His charge Q-Blast Cannon is going to be unblockable or Flying Kicks. His dash heavy could have been better, like maybe a Q-Blast Cannon or something, but again, Flying Kicks is not the worst thing in the world, so it's probably fine. And also, I may not have mentioned this before, but his his attack speed appears to be just a little bit slower than average, so it actually makes it a little bit harder to super cannon, which is really nice. Again, he managed to float around the screen and just hit them with his very flashy attacks. Even amongst the uniforms, I think he's definitely one of the most stylish. But I'm biased. But speaking of things which detract from his impressive skill and style, is his weaknesses. So it's a bit redundant to have 2 blast attacks that deal basically the same damage and have the same purpose. So I think it would have been nice to have maybe like a rush attack or an explosion or something instead of the generic like blast. But it doesn't really matter a whole lot, as you're not gonna using more than just a regular blast attack outside of maybe instant sparking into his rush attacks. So that's about it. And if you're interested in any other similar archetypes for the same cost, you can think of Raditz. So he's cost the same. Also has instant spark, but instead of a explosive wave, he has quite a strong buff skill and roughly similar stat. I mean, he's got the same damage stat and decent moveset as well. So maybe Jeice has some slight upsides over him, but I think in terms of moveset and just general gameplay, he's quite similar. Or I suppose you could play better, but he's actually pretty different. But in summing up, guys, my final thoughts are that he's pretty much like a more mid to long range version of Berta because of his beam attacks and his tracking smash Q blast. I think he's definitely one of the more preferred picks for DP, at least for me. Similar to Yamcha and Raditz, both of them have instant sparking and such. If I'm playing a bit more, I think the lack of a regular rush attack or rush blast attack rather is a bigger downside than it might seem. And yeah, his damage is just really not the best, especially when you have, Mr. Top Tier Raccoon and a couple of other really strong picks even at the 3 cost. So I'd say for now I'll give a soft recommendation, but again, I feel like Ginyu guys on average have better stats and more things which make them unique. So I'd say if you really like the character, give him a go, but otherwise I'd say maybe try another character on the same cost instead. So I'm just going to finish up here. I just wanted to say thanks for sticking around. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this character breakdown. Have a great day. If you could give this a like and a share, maybe even a sub, that'd be most appreciated. Be blessed, and I'll catch you at the next one.